Hel- Hello. Good good morning, everyone. My name is Milan B. Dave. My today presentation topic is the rise of the novel in the 18th century. This is my personal information, table of content, research question. How did the social, culture, and economic change of the 18th century contribute to the rise of English novel? Hypothesis is the narrative techniques and theme established in the period laid a foundation for later literary tradition, including Romantic and Victorian fiction. Introduction. The 18th century witnessed the emergence of the novel as a distinct literary form. Unlike earlier epic poetry and drama, novels focus on realistic character representing the everyday lives of ordinary people and emphasize individualism, exploring personal experience, human psychology, and moral dilemmas. This period also marked as a significant shift from poetry and drama to prose fiction. Novels become more accessible to the rising middle class and combine entertainment with moral instruction, making them both engaging and educational. Moreover, the rise of the novel reflects the social, cultural and economic change of the era, increasing literary urbanization and the growing influence of the middle class shape readership, while novels address relevant social themes such as morality, social mobility, family, and gender roles. Definition of the novel. A novel is a long prose narrative that presents realistic character event exploring moral, social, and psychological aspects of human life. A long prose narrative focus on individualism, experience, and personal development. Realistic depiction of society show ordinary people and real life situation instead of hero or myth. Exploration of moral, social, and psychological theme deals with ethical conflict, emotion, and inner thought of character. Historical context. The emergence of the novel in the 18th century was deeply influenced by the social, culture, and economical change of the time. As England experienced rapid growth in the literary print culture and urbanization, the demand for realistic and reliable stories increased. The novel became the most effective literary form to reflect this involving social realities. Key point: growth of literary and the middle class, expansion of print culture, rise of the magazine, newspaper, and circular library made the books accessible. Printing innovation lowered cost and increased readership. Urbanization and changing the lifestyle. Key novelist, key novelist and work. The 18th century produced some of the most influential pioneers of the English novel who helped shape in the theme, structure, and purpose. This writer introduced realism, moral reflection, social satire, and experimental technique, make prose fiction and most dynamic literary form the period. Major contributors and themes: Daniel Defoe, Robinson Crusoe, blend realism with adventure, showing human struggle and moral strength. Samuel Richardson Pamela used the epic story from the highlight virtue and middle class morality. Henry Fielding, Tom Jones added humor and social satire, presenting vivid portraits of English life. Lawrence Stern and Sandy experiment with the narrative style and psychological depth, literary impact. The novelist defined realism, morality, and individu- individuality in fiction. Characteristic of the 18th century novel. The 18th century English novel reflect the realism, morality, and individualism of the rapidly changed society. Novelists began to explore personal emotion, social issue, and experimental storytelling, giving prose fiction new literary treasure. Focus on personal experience and moral growth. Realistic portrait of society and life. Use of new narrative forms. Themes of the 18th century novels. Major themes in 18th century novels is like virtue, morality, and social mobility, love, marriage, and domestic life. Adventure, exploring and travel, satire and critique of society, influence and legacy. The 18th century novel had a lasting impact on literature, established prose, fiction, and serious and represent art form. By combining realism, moral reflection, and engaging storytelling, novelist created work to adapt it to growing middle class readership while also influencing figure generation of writers. Key point: extravagance of the novel as a literary form inspired romantic and Victorian novelist introduced narrative techniques still used today. Conclusion: the novels of the 18th century mark as a turning point in the English literature, capturing the complexity of the human life and moral values as the social change of their time. Writers like Defoe, Richardson, Fielding, and the stream transferred prose fiction from simple storytelling into a powerful tool for reflection, education, and social critique. Their works connected reader to real experience, emotion, and moral choice of provoking the way of future generation of the novelists. Key point: reflection of societal and morality, explore virtue, moral challenge, and class struggle, blending entertainment and critique, foundation of modern fiction. This is my learning outcome. This is my work cited resources. Thank you so much.
So, Milan, my question is, what were the main reason behind the rise of the English novel in 18th century?
Jaipal, the English novel rise in the 18th century 18th 18th century because the growth of the literary to expansion of print culture and emergence of the middle class who want realistic story about everyday life.
Hello, Milan. So my question is, how did writers like Daniel Defoe and Samuel Richardson shape the early English novel?
Daniel Defoe introduced realism and adventure in Robinson Crusoe, while Samuel Richardson used the uh, epistolary from the Pamela to explore personal morality and social values. Thank you. This is for my side.